So history is repeating itself once again. Trump has invaded Venezuela, and this goes contrary to all his promises before the election of no new wars, no invading countries. It goes against his quest for a Nobel Peace Prize, and basically all his supporters have been hoodwinked. And the rest of us saw this coming because the man has been a con man basically all his life. He has no moral compass to actually feel remorse for this level of deception. Now, granted, he is being blatant about the reason for the war. At first, it was the lies about drugs, and most analysts will point out that if you want to fight a war against drugs, you go against Mexico, Colombia, and El Salvador, not Venezuela. So this idea of weapons of mass destruction coming through from Venezuela in the form of fentanyl is a lame, weak attempt at coming up with a genuine reason for invading a sovereign country. Now, Maduro is no angel, as everyone knows, and it is widely suspected that the last election that brought him into power was fraudulent. But by that logic, would someone be justified in invading the United States because of the disputed 2020 election, as Trump claims? No. Why? Because no one has the firepower to match up against the United States, or even if they do, like China or Russia, there would be too much damage to put that into place. But because Venezuela is a small country with limited military hardware, it was deemed necessary to invade them for the sole purpose of taking over their natural resources. And he just announced that in the press conference, and say that it's because we want their wealth. And for him to be so blatant in saying that will work against him in the future, because unless he comes up with a plan to stay in power forever, the next Democrat president will have a legitimate right and legitimate grounds to actually put Trump on trial for going against the law, which requires congressional approval for declaration of war. So this in itself is the first domino that has been toppled, which creates a power vacuum in Venezuela. And Venezuela is already a divided country, with some people supporting this blatant violation of international law. But what it does is that it fractures the country. And when it fractures the country, you will create problems that you did not anticipate. And what kind of problems those are will be determined by what happens in the next couple of days. What could happen is the people of Venezuela would actually be docile. Maybe they would be docile and accept whatever comes, whatever transitional government is put in place by the United States, or they would actually fight back. and that would cause more problems. Now, the for them to be docile would be good for the region, but that's kind of like a 30% chance of that happening. Now, the problem that many people don't see at the moment, because the focus is on the Western Hemisphere, is what kind of emboldening has been given to China. Because China has always had its eye on Taiwan. And now that America has done this blatant takeover of another sovereign country, they have no moral ground or legal ground to say anything if Taiwan is invaded by China. And Taiwan has more, the case for China invading Taiwan is more of a solid case than the case for USA invading Venezuela. So at this point, America has put Taiwan in danger. So this is one of the dominoes that has been toppled. That could destabilize the world order, and at the moment, reports are coming out that there was a meeting between Maduro and the Chinese envoys just yesterday before he was captured or kidnapped. So now, what will be the Chinese response? Because at the moment, China is definitely strong enough to take Taiwan. And that in itself puts everyone in danger, because China is nuclear armed, and America obviously is nuclear armed and has got a powerful army and has an irrational leader who is acting on impulse. So now, to have this kind of leader who acts on impulse, who acts on the whim, is very dangerous for the world. It's dangerous for America, it's dangerous for the world, because to not attempt to have a plan in place, to not attempt to at least weigh the options diligently in the way that Trump seems to be, is risking World War III. So, I don't know. maybe it will be the best case scenario where China just continues to abide by the rules of the current world order, or we're going into hell in the next year. And this is not a good start for 2026.